Oh, my camera's not open. Here we go. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Oi. um, hello, everyone. It's Kim from K&RP in southeastern Manitoba. It is a brilliantly sunny day. It has been so cloudy here and damp the last week. The sunshine is absolutely welcomed with open arms. It is currently +3 Celsius, which is really warm for this time of year. All the snow is melted, actually. Well, 99% of it. Ron's actually thinking of mowing the lawn, which is totally unheard of in Manitoba in the middle of November. And it is currently, like I said, +3 Celsius, which means it's 37 degrees Fahrenheit. It's gorgeous out there. That's okay. Anyway, so today we're going to use, surprise, surprise, old book pages. These are from the dictionary. I'm trying to use up, hey, Dawn, welcome. Nice to see you. I'm trying to use up some of my book pages and other stuff. I've been doing this for, has it been almost a year? I don't know. Anyway, can't even remember when I started streaming. Yeah, I guess it's been almost a year. Wow. So I've got these book pages. These are from a little dictionary. I figured we could do some collage fodder, something different than I have been showing you guys in the past. This is going to be quick, simple, and I hope it's going to be fun. So book pages, some acrylic paints. I do have brushes. Not sure how much we're going to use the brushes, but hey, Anne, welcome. For stems and things, we'll definitely use the brushes. But I just want to show you a really quick way. I don't know how many of you are on Pinterest or Instagram. There's the collage fodder, Willa Wanders, and those guys. They do some incredible stuff. Of course, it's with watercolor. I don't have watercolor, so I am just going to use acrylics as usual. And I'm going to show you just a quick way of doing a stem of leaves that you can use to collage fodder, as collage fodder. I'm going to do a whole bunch of them because, I need to build up my stash of stuff, and I think this is going to be fun. So I'm just putting down, this is a burnt umber. I'm going to put just a little bit of black down, some red. Hey, Barbara, welcome. You were just running through the sprinkler. Isn't it a lovely day out there? I think that's just crazy. Ron's laughing and saying he's going to mow the lawn. Beautiful sunny day. We went on putt yesterday because it was supposed to be clear yesterday. We had a whole 6 minutes of sun. We were out at St. Ambrose Beach. Yeah, just nuts. Do I want gold? You know what? Let's throw a bit of gold in too. So as I said, we're just going to do some leaf-like collage fodder. I used the red. Let's do some yellow. We're just going to do quick stems and leaves that we could use for a multitude of things, and some green. And some green. So I have a variety of colors of paint. I know you can't see them too much. I didn't want to use the other side because you definitely wouldn't see it there. So I am just going to take a cap from a used glue stick, and I am going to just kind of dip it in all these different colors. And we're just going to do roundish kind of leaves. Just like this. Just going to take it and do, it lifted the paper. It's okay, we'll just move it over. Hold the paper down so that, like I said, we're just going to dip it in all these different colors so that it's going to be just a lovely stem of leaves. Now, of course, you don't have to go all the way up the whole page if you don't want to, but definitely want to make sure that you dip that cap into the various colors. So now I'm just going to take a brush and I'm just going to kind of swirl it, not necessarily swirl it, but I want it to be more of a point, and I'm going to try and get as many colors on as I can. We're going to do a center stem. We'll use this as the top. So we're just going to go up between all these leaves up to the center stem. And then again, we're just going to put some bits of different colored paint on, and we're going to do little stems out to the leaves. Now, when that's dry, that is going to be a beautiful little set of leaves. Collage mutter. Yeah, yeah. So there's one. Let's do the next one. Same thing. We're just going to do this. We're going to do a whole bunch. Of course, you could do the stems a little bit thicker if you have a thicker brush. It's up to you, right? As I say, I want to just make up a bunch of collage fodder because I never have enough. And again, just different colors. And we're just going to do leaves down the stem, alternating. Not really using the gold. And they don't have to be perfect circles. They're leaves. We're having fun. We do want to have paint on the brush, though. Brush. This. Good morning, Belinda. Welcome, welcome. Used glue stick cap. There it is. So again, just a bunch of colors on the page. Let's take the brush again. Let's do a stem. We'll use that as the top leaf, of course, because it's at the top. We'll just do a stem up the middle. Then we're going to do the little side stems to the leaves. So when we cut it, of course, we're going to cut it around. We're not going to go right against the stems. We'll leave a little bit around it. You know how they usually have white around their collage fodder? You can see the book print underneath it. Now, the thing being is this would be a big piece on a bigger journal page. If you wanted to do it on a smaller journal page or smaller size, turn your page this way. Do a whole bunch of little leaves. You know, yeah, we've got this. You could use a finger. You could use the bottom of a paintbrush. You could use a flat marker or a pen cap. Something flat, just so that you can get a variety of colors. Let's use something smaller. Let's use this. That's round. I don't want to use the round. I want to use the flat. This is just a gel pen. Jelly roll gel pen, and I'm just, like I say, I'm just going to blot through the different colors. And yeah, some of them might be a little bit muddy. Some of them are going to have different colors on them. It's just fun. Yes, you can definitely do balloons with this technique. The problem being is they're big, right? And I know that you've probably seen them done on gel plates. Let me just go see if I've got mine handy. But I have used balloons. You could use water balloons because they're smaller. But I used balloons, and you get this kind of effect. So definitely, you can use balloons. You could use, a picture of balloons? Certainly. Those would make lovely balloons. Marbly like balloons. You could use them as heads for Faces, you could use them as whatever you like. A picture of balloons, yeah. That's what Anne was asking, a picture of balloons. So again, stem, up the middle. And the thing about the stem is you can come back and add more colors to it. You could go over it with some pencil crayons if you want it to be, um, you know, more vibrant, more color variety. But again, that's a lovely little stem of leaves that make a great background. Confuse your adult mind. Okay, let's do this whole page like that. Oh, I think I'm too close. That's okay. Whoa. See, when you pull it off the page, you want it to kind of be round, but it doesn't have to be. You could just do a whole set of leaves with a push and pull, right? Needs more paint. So you put it down and you kind of pull it out. Gives wonderful leaves. Way too close to the other one. So that's the other thing you have to keep in mind. I will have a heck of a time fussy cutting this out because whatever. Um, there we go. So these ones are, we're going to go over them, around them in a gel pen, a black gel pen anyway, right? Guess I need the stem. Okay. And the stem doesn't have to be straight. But it's just another way of doing some quick and easy collage fodder for whatever you're working on. Addled. Well, that's a tongue twister. I can be accused of that. We can move it over. I like the fact that you can get the multiple colors. Guess I want some yellow. So this is, like I say, a really easy technique. You can use your finger if you don't have, if you don't mind getting some paint on your fingers. So we'll do these two and then I'll put the stems on. Now the other thing, when you do things like this, am I starting to get a little muddy here? Just a little. We'll just stems. The other thing when you're doing this is you can make clusters of like little flowers, right? So if you were doing, what has clusters of little round flowers or berries? It's definitely kind of brownish, which is okay because it's foliage, right? You can have brown foliage. Okay, so now I have these lovely little leaves. Anne's an adult. Well, that's alliteration. I love alliteration. Okay, so how about let's put those over there to dry. Let's do a couple of little flowers. All about the flowers. Again, I'm going to use the end of this pen. And let's do 5 circles, 5 dotted flowers. And then we'll put one dot in the middle. So 6. But look at how cute that little flower is. So we can do a stem of those flowers. Let's do a stem of those flowers. Let's do 3 of them. As I say, it's kind of a fun thing to do. You could use whatever colors you have. You could use blues, you could use purples, you could use pinks. It's just nice to have a variety of different colors. And yeah, sometimes it'll get muddy. So again, we're just going to make some stems. I'm going to use more of the greenish for the stems for this. And again, this is a big piece for collaging. It would be nice on the front of a tag or a journal card. Kind of like the way those stems go. Let's add just a little bit of a swirl at the tops, because we can. And now let's add a few leaves. So we'll just push and pull and push and pull. Just a few little leaves. Leaf up there. Leaf up here. So now we have to wait for the paint to dry, and then of course we'll come back in and use the black gel pen to enhance and elaborate what we've got. But if you're not somebody who paints, and if you don't really have the confidence to blend colors to make flowers or leaves or whatever, this is a great way to go. A great way to go. Now, if you wanted something like grapes, you could do a cluster of grapes. Let's do that with purple. I'll do a cluster of grapes over here. So we need some dark purple. We need a bit of blue. Got all these greeblies on my paints. Just a little bit of blue. And some white. Lots of white. And of course, there's green down. I'm going to take this and I am going to wipe it off on this really mucky piece of paper towel I've got. I've been using this paper towel for a week anyway. I'm going to do the same thing with the pen end. So you don't necessarily, you'll need a brush just to do the stems, what have you. But let's do some grapes now. So I've got all 3 colors on, and we'll start at the top. And we're just going to do a cluster of circles until you think it looks like a cluster of grapes. I think that's pretty good. Hi, Pam. Welcome, welcome. We're just doing some crazy dot collage fodder. So then I'm going to take this brush. I'm going to take some of this green, and we're going to put a stem. Then we're going to take some and we're going to do like a curly thing to show that it's like a grapevine. And once we come in with the black gel pen, it will come to life as grapes. So we've done leaves, we've done flowers. We've done these push and pull leaves. So I really like the way these ones are turned out. I want to do some. Um, hey, Cal, welcome, welcome. Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm taking this old glue cap and I got a bunch of different colors here. So I am just kind of dipping it in a whole bunch of different colors and I'm putting them down. I'm putting them down and trying not to smudge them, but it does pick up the paper sometimes, right? Yeah. You kind of got to hold the paper down. Kind of got to hold that paper down. But they do make very interesting flowers or leaves, or we could turn that into a flower cluster as well. Let's do another one down here. Very simple way to make some collage fodder. Very simple way. You know, you could just do a whole series of single circles and turn them into little flowers with stems and leaves. Well, let's do that. So again, grab a brush, we'll grab the green. This one I'm going to do a full stem on that. So let's do some green, a little bit of brown. And yeah, I know that that one kind of went um, smudged, but it's okay. We can deal with that. We can definitely deal with that. Green and brown make lovely stems, gives it some depth if you get the two colors in. When we're cutting it for the collage fodder, we can cut that piece out. That's not a problem. Or we could turn it into leaves, something, you know. But right now I'm just going to add a few little leaf things like this. This too is going to be a cluster, so I'm going to do 3 different stems on this one. Just do some big kind of leaves at the bottom. And these ones are just going to be single flowers, so they can have a stem and a couple of leaves. So add a little bit more green to that because we can. Same with this one. It's just going to be a single flower. Add some leaves. So for the leaves, it's just the way that I've shown you in the past, where you just push the brush down and kind of lift and twist. So yeah, the colors definitely look like pansies. The shape, not necessarily, but you could always draw in a pansy shape with the yellow face center and the bottom leaf, and but that's once the paint is dry. The thing about doing it this way, it takes a while for the paint to dry because it's pretty thick. So we're getting quite a collection of lovely things to cut out and embellish. So how about if we turn the page this way and we do like this little cluster here? Let's do a few on that page so there's a variety. These are great. You know when you've got, well, you know when I've got really wild and crazy backgrounds, having something like this on front of it tones it down and gives it, that's the focal point, right? So let's do some littler ones. We'll use the pen and we will do just a couple of clusters of flowers. Got some purple ones. I guess I could do them even smaller, shorter, and I could get a few on the page. I like this blue, purple, and white combination. I really, really like that together. So I'll do a couple more of those. Now, If you're doing some painting at home and you've got leftover paints on your palette, if you've got one of those paperback books beside you, you know how I tell you, have one there so that you can put paint on the pages, whatever. This is a good thing to do too. So let's use this yellow and red mess here, and let's do some little groupings up here with the yellow and red mixtures. And you don't always want the dots to be in the same spot, right? Because they're floral clusters. You want them kind of not necessarily centered. I guess I've got, let's do, nope. Let's get another page. We'll add the leaves to that in a moment. I'll just move that up there. You can't really see the yellow very clearly. I have a whole stack of pages I cut out because I thought that we could have some fun with these. So it does, whatever color you put the paints in, that's the color you're going to get for your flowers, right? I've got purples and yellows and reds. Just play. Just play. And of course, I'm doing it all on the text sides because I want the text behind. Those kind of seem to all want to be in the same areas. That's okay. Obviously, you're going to get a lot of flowers out of this amount of paint. And if you don't like them, you can always put another dot on with more punchy colors, right? But I'm going to have a lovely bunch of collage fodder with these. Got lots of purple, etc. So let's take the brush and do some stems. I think I want more darker green. Do I have a darker green? I know I've got one somewhere in here. There's a black. No, I've got black out. I don't see it offhand. So I will use this green and I'm going to want to add something beside it so that we've got the depth. Depth, 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 blah, blah, blah. Maybe some blue. A little bit of blue right beside it. And maybe just a little bit of red in there. I know you're going to say red, blue, and green. You know I don't like red and green together. But the thing is when you're using it like this, it's going to turn it into a goldy brownish color for the stems. Look, I got a big blob of blue on there. We're going to have to disguise that. So I'm just going to get the three colors on. That's going to have to be a leaf. Stems. Show you. Come on. Pick up the paper nicely. Nice little cluster of leaves and flowery kind of dots. So did any of you do anything exciting Saturday night? I curled up with a book. We went on putt yesterday and had a lovely time out and about. We went to the beach. The lakes aren't frozen yet, but there's a lot of snow piled up on the shorelines. You knit and watch Netflix? You know, some days I kind of miss having Netflix, and other days it's like you don't watch it. So I don't, I've canceled my subscription. So again, as I say, I'm going to have, and these little ones will actually be lovely on ATCs. You don't always have to come back with black to highlight. Yeah, I don't have cable either. I use streaming services all the time, but I don't, um, what? I don't have Netflix. I do have Prime. So again, like I say, add a few other colors to the green, makes it a little bit deeper and gives it a bit more texture kind of thing. Because if it's just a flat green, it's just a flat green. This way, it kind of has some shadowing, etc. to it. Does that make sense? Yeah. See, we have Tubi and Pluto or some silly thing. So I can still watch like old TV shows, etc. if I want to. Did this one way too close to the middle. I could have got another couple of flowers in there, I'm sure. Ah, thanks, Don. It's a great way to, you know what? It's such a great way to use up book pages and bits of paint. And it's amazing, the different colors that you can put together and get some very interesting florally kind of things out of it. And the leaves don't all have to go in the same place, right? Like the stems and the leaves. Just have some fun with it. BritBox? Okay. I don't have BritBox. At least I don't think I do. All right. So, which was the first one I did? These guys still aren't dry. That one's still wet. But I will show you, I think these stems are a little bit too thin. I'm going to definitely come over them with this green and the mixture with the blue and the red. I'm not going right over the line that was there. I'm just adding to it, kind of beside it, and because I want it that little bit thicker, especially if I'm going to be cutting it. So you can see where I've added the green around that line. I'm going to do the same thing on this one because on this one, I feel that some of these stems are just not as thick as I would like. I'm also looking for stability because once I've got these cut out, especially on book page, they're going to be pretty darn flimsy. If that makes sense. All right. So we've got the stems on both of those done. These littler ones I'm not as fussy about. Now, if you're worried about how thin your book page is, you can glue these down, like do a double page, or you could do Freeve. Huh, I wonder if we've got that here. As I said, you could glue these down, like do a double page of book page, give it that little bit additional stability, or you could do it on white copy paper if you've got scraps, that kind of thing. So let's just start with this one. So we've got the circle. And you know how Jean always says one line isn't complete, so you do two or three lines? Well, I'm going to just kind of go around it a couple of times, all of them. Not sure if this is the way to do it. We're making this up as we go, guys. But I have done stems and leaf kind of things like this in the past. And I have outlined just with a black marker, or I have inked it with my scratch pens. So this is, we're experimenting, but we know what we're doing, right? So then, if we were to follow Jean's advice, these gaps, we would do dots or whatever in the gaps to make them look, um, you know, let's do dots around them. Because I think that's interesting. See, I've got a hole in the middle of that one. Didn't quite fill in completely with paint. It's okay. These are collage fodder. They don't have to be exact. They don't have to be perfect. They're fun. They're whimsical. They're adding some color. The paint is still wet. Otherwise, I might do a spiral in them or petals. But because I did the outline and there's gaps between the outline and the lines, I am putting dots. So I'm doing dots in the gaps closest to the paint, and then the ones that are farther from the paint, because I've got a couple of lines, I'm going to put a stripe on those, because I think it'll be fun. This is for you, Jean, wherever you are. I'm doodling these things because I got more than one line. Probably it would have been nice to do with pen and ink because it's darker. But I think that this could be striking as it is. I like it. Wasn't so sure, but it's definitely growing on me. Definitely growing on me. I will show you right away. I'll hold it up so that you guys can see it. Maybe it would be different on a plain background. Well, it would definitely look different on a plain background. That one. Hi, Beth. Welcome, welcome. I haven't seen Stacy today. So Now let's cut this out, and it's going to look totally different. I do have a piece of black cardstock. I just saw it. I do have a piece of black cardstock, so put it against so that you can. Ugh, lots of things with wet paint all over here. Lots. Scissors. Thanks, Anne. Thanks, Beth. Thanks, Dawn. Okay. My fussy cutting isn't the greatest. But and I can't. I don't know. How do you guys manage when you fussy cut to keep the same distance around what you're cutting out? Is there a trick? Do you guys draw it beforehand and then go along the penciled lines? How do you fussy cut your stuff? Because my word, it's all over the place. Yeah. Eyelets the size of a seed bead. Wow. Those are cool. Yeah, I just do my best too. And it's homemade, right? It's handmade. So it's going to have some eccentricities, right? They're not flaws, they're eccentricities, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. How does one I don't know. Carefully? Does that make sense? Yeah, an eyelet setter, definitely. But you would need a teeny tiny one like that if it's the size of a seed bead. Soon, guys, just a couple more leaves to cut out. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. This is what I mean about the floppy paper. Kind of gets in the way of when you're cutting. But I have to admit, I sure like the way this is turning out. I really do. But as I say, these ones are quite big because I used the whole length of the paper. What do you think? Yeah, I'd smash my fingers too. So we've got one stem done. Woohoo! So fast, simple, guys. Fast and simple. Right? Old glue stick cap, blobs of paint, what? Paint, and dip it in all the different colors, put them down, draw some stems, trace around them. Now, as I say, I could do a swirl in the middle, leave them as they are. We could make petals if we wanted, so that yeah, adopt my absurd items. Okay, so that's the big one. Let's try one of these little ones. How dry are you? Let's do this little one right here. So again, you know what? This one, I'm just going to draw around it. And I am not going to doodle on it because it's pretty small. But I will do, black line. And I'm going to cut this one out. It'll be easier for me to cut if I cut all this excess stuff away. So can any of you guys think of anything else that we could do dots for collage fodder? Should we try some balloons? Let's see if I can get a good focus on that. It's not focusing nice. There we go. Yeah. But that's cute. Like if I put it on, maybe that background's just too wild. But what else have I got background wise? Right here, right here, right here. What have I got? About a piece of painty paper. Something like that. It sticks out pretty good. Try balloons? Okay, let's make some balloons. Let's make some balloons. I have lots to line and cut out here. So let's make some balloons. We'll do the big one with the purple. Oh, it's smudged. That's okay. Look, it's fun. All right. So if we were going to do balloons, we need like white strings, I think. And of course, when we do the ink, you would have to do kind of like a little knot around the string for the balloon. So I think what we need is something like the stem of the balloon, right? Let's just take a paintbrush and make some little stem mark things. Just so we got something to tie the knot around. Oh, definitely could use real thread. I don't have any on my desk at the moment. No. But yeah, could use real thread. I'm just going to use thin white lines. And these balloons are just flying free. Just get my brush to a really nice point. So I could draw almost like a little string, like a little bow. Actually, a gel pen would probably work better. But since we're going to be coming over it in black, we could definitely enhance it to look like a bow once we come with the black gel pen or marker, whatever you've got. And of course, I didn't hold the paper down tight, so some of the balloons have a little wobble to them. So it'd be easy enough just to have, do that right onto a journal page. I have used real thread when I've done balloons in the past, Beth. Actually, I've used string. That's in this book. I had heart balloons. Yeah, Cal, I know they're heart balloons. And I did use string and I did tie them into little bows. So there's always that as well. Oy. Sorry for the boarding house reach. But that kind of worked fun. Let's do them in other colors too. Let's do them in the red and the gold. So I've got gold here. That should be interesting. And because the paper wants to pull up, oh, that's a lovely mess. Absolutely lovely mess. I like them, guys. You can have all these little balloons. One more, just up here. It does. Hot air balloon with the attached basket. I love hot air balloons. That's what I have painted on my bathroom walls. And I'm sure that doesn't surprise you. So let's do the little stems from the balloons because we all need those little stems. That one's got blue. Let's get a little bit more blue on that then. This one as well. Oh, green. Need more green on that one. A little bit more green. Let's add some gold. Can't really see it. It's okay. Hey, Stacy May. Welcome, welcome. I think Beth was asking about you earlier. I am just playing with making some collage fodder on book page using paints and a glue cap. So we're just doing some little balloons. Just painting some little bows on the strings. What about kites? Well, I mean, kites aren't round. But now I'm thinking about it. Wouldn't it be fun to do some kites out of some wild gel prints and have all the little bows on the tail? Okay, now I want to do a whole bunch of kites as Kimbits. So I've got all these little flowery things and leaves. I think the grapes are dry now. Let's see if we can do the grapes. Those need to dry. So we did a cluster of grapes. I used a end of a gel pen. So I'm going to dip the black pen in paint, which we're not going to do. So we've got a stem and we've got the grapevines. So I don't know about you, but I'm just going to go over them with black, just like that. I'm not going to double line them or anything. I'm just going to use the single lines. Now, these grapes are not dry. This was more just showing how to get multicolored leaves if you're not a somebody who doesn't really paint much. Yeah, Beth, what's for lunch? Lunch sounds like a great idea. So this one's dry, so we're going to play with this one now. I went back and thickened up the stems. We're just going to do a couple of circles around each of these florally leaf things. And down each side of the stems. So this one, I doodled around them. Kind of fun. I think, though, that for doodling, I want to use my stick pen, my pen and ink, not just a gel pen, because I don't feel that this gives as much of a punch as I want. So I'm going to cut this out and have it as is. So I'll put that aside to cut out after. You guys don't need to see me sit and cut because that's boring. These flowers are dry. So how I did these flowers is I used that pen end and I did 5 dots around and 1 in the middle. So let's circle the one in the middle first. Give them the center. Shows up much nicer on camera than it does in real life. Then I'm just going to go around each of the 5 petals. And I'm not going to doodle these either. I like them just the way they are. And the stem, I'm just going to do a line beside them. And the leaf, I will do on both sides. Oh, didn't do this leaf. For these ones. I'm waiting for the grapes to dry. So I will consider this flower stem done. I know I said that I wasn't going to, I'm not going to fussy cut it. I'm just going to chop around it and put it on the black so that you can see it better. So I will fussy cut that out along with that one. So we've done all these little flowers. I've done the balloons. I've got lots of little flowers. Little floral cluster stem things. When you're doing this, it suctions to the paper, so it pulled up and made a mess. But we'll work around that. It's perfectly fine. I did a bunch of those little stems on here. Again, I don't know that I'm going to doodle them. It slid the first one I did, so I slid the other ones intentionally. Really want these grapes to dry. I'm waving it off screen so I'm not making anybody seasick. One day I may invest in a heat gun or whatever to dry things. I really do like the way these balloons turned out. Have to admit, I think they're very cute. And I will cut very close to the strings. And then maybe when I put them in the book, I might add real string. I don't know. What's this? Oh, look. I have another few pages that I haven't put anything on. Got a whole stack of them. Maybe we'll just play some more while we're waiting for that to dry. So I don't know if you've ever seen this kind of pattern idea kind of thing, where you have a hollow circle. So you get paint on it. Right? So you've got paint around all the edges. Make sure you got paint on all the edges, all the way around. So you put it down and then you drag it. And it gives really cool texture as well. Not sure what they could be, but it's an interesting concept because if it's still wet enough, you get a circle at the bottom with drag marks. I don't know if you can see it. So it's almost like a tube. They have to be very, very wet in order to get that effect. But it gives you really interesting tubular painted things. It takes a lot of practice to get it right. Obviously, my paint wasn't wet enough to actually be able to lift it up and get that circle at the bottom. But it gives it, like I say, a tube-like effect. Let's try it again. Let's flip the page over. Nothing to lose. So it would be nice if I could have it all the way. I can't remember how I used to get it to work that way. Maybe it was on the gel plate that I did it, because then the paint would be wet and you lift it. I think that's probably the way it went. So I don't have my gel plate right here, but I've got this plastic thing that I use as a gel plate. Okay, now we're playing. Let's try this green. Let's just use plain green. So you would put it down and then pull it, and it would leave a mark. Twist at the end. Oh yeah, look. It's closer to what I was looking for. Also, probably if I rolled the paint out. Okay. I'm bound and determined because I have some gel prints from long ago that I really liked, and it had this effect on it. But I can't remember how I did it. Okay, let's try that. So if you put the thing down, pull, and twist. There you go. There you go. It's got to be have paint on the gel plate, and then you just do that. Does that make sense to you guys? So that leaves a really cool pattern on the gel plate. Of course, this isn't a gel plate, and the paint's not very thick, but it does. It gives you like that tubular pattern. There we go. It's fun. Anyway. Something different. Something different. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's wipe that off. Let's just do some green and gold. I like the green and gold. That makes very interesting flowery kind of. You can use your fingers, like I said. These ones, I am just going to do like single little things with leaves. See, and the paper is coming up. That's why it's not staying in a nice circle. But it's fine. I don't know how well you can see the gold. There's definitely gold in there. It's metallic. I want a bit darker. Let's use that. Again, just doing some little stem things. Just want to have stuff that I can throw onto an ATC. You know, you know how it is. We're always looking for something different to add. Throw stuff in Happy Mail. But if you're playing on the gel plate, I bet you doing these kind of flowery leaf things would work lovely before you start spreading paint around. Like if you did that up the side, that it could be an interesting um, edging or something to your gel plate. So these, I'm going to come in and I'm going to doodle my, when I wobble cut flowers, I do the doodles in them. I'm going to do that with these. And I am going to use a metallic ink to do that with. And again, I'm just going to cut them out, not necessarily right close to it, but around it so that there's a border. Okay, let's do some more of those balloons. I really liked the way those turned out for balloons. I really don't like green and red together, and I've got such a mixture there for them. That's going to be an interesting balloon. I want it to be a little bit more round. It's okay. So tell me, oops, what would you do with this? Are you going to try it? Actually, just like that, even without stems or whatever, those are interesting circles. I might just cut those out as circles or something. You leave a fair amount of the page showing? Yeah. I like the way those just look all marbly kind of. Not getting enough paint on my lid. I really like the way those look. Almost like coins. Now, if I had a stamp or something, or if I did it on a print that was much darker, they'd almost look like coins. Yeah. Anyway, I'm having fun with this. I might, use these as flowers in one of my collage card things. They're just fun. They're just fun. Something different than a gel print. Running out of places to leave things to dry. So I've got lots of brown paint. Let's add some yellow. More yellow because I've getting some mud in the middle here. Brown, yellow, and I've got that gold and the black. Use this, and that. That's interesting. Definitely interesting. They could be flower centers or petals. Definitely. They could definitely be petals. Back into that green. Didn't want green. I'm doing just a couple more of those little florally cluster kind of things. Maybe they're going to be seed pods. Maybe I'll draw them like seed pods. Just lines up through them. Just trying to use up this brown and what's left on the page now. You know how I do these things? Where is it? Right? Just some little drawing on paint scribbles. I could use these instead. So those ones are kind of looking green because of the brown and the yellow. Ooh. They're much nicer with the more paint on it, like much thicker paint. Yeah. Okay, so the idea is to make lots of paint on it. Really thick paint. And again, I might just do it straight into a journal instead of having all these little fussy cut bits. But because I like doing ATCs and things, I like to have these little bits. And of course, they can always go out in some Happy Mail. They're fast and simple, right? And they're unique. They are definitely unique. Okay, so these ones I think I want stems on. So I'm just going to use the brown and yellow, a little bit of green. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Again, I'm using a variety of the colors of paint with the green. Those will be cute just to add. They could be strips on the edge of a page. These ones? Maybe what I should do is take some copy paper and do them straight up the copy paper. Oh, so that I could do them as borders. Let me just finish these stems and things and let's try that. See what it looks like on straight white. Do it on a straight white and it should be very interesting. Yep, it would. The book page would definitely give them more interest. You're right. Oh, see, I put my finger in the wet paint. All's okay. It's okay. Okay, so those ones all have stems. So you're thinking if I go all the way down, I just had like, but smaller, right? Using the smaller instead of the bigger. Like using this instead of this. What did I just do with that, Anne? Where did I put that one? This one. Instead of using the big one, use the little one. Oh, you just dumped that one on the wet paint. What did it do? Ha! Okay. So, what do we want to use? Let's add some more colors here. We've got the purples and the blues. Do we want to do the purples and blues? Maybe add some yellow to that so it's more like a pansy? Yellow. A little bit more of the blue. Okay. You know what? I'm going to dip that in the water and see if I can get some of that other stuff off. So now let's see if I can do it like it's got this column here, half the width of the column. Does that make sense? Probably would have been better idea to do it right in the center of the column instead of on the edge as I am doing, because this side's not going to have as much print behind it. We learn as we go. Oh, that's got way lots yellow. Okay, so again, let's take this green. I need some more green. I've got the brown and yellow, so I'm going to dip it in the brown and yellow and the green. Different way to use a gel pen, guys. So now we're going to do this stem. Green, brown, and yellow. Add stems to the flowers. Yep, that's going to be a very cute little border, I'm thinking. And maybe a few little leaves. Not very many. Right. Hi, Janet. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, that would make a lovely border. Let's do it again down the center of that one. Right. Nice to see you, Janet. We are playing. I want to do some collage fodder. So I've used the old glue cap from a glue stick and various colors. And I've also used the end of a gel pen. So I've got like these little florals, big florals. We did some balloons. The balloons are lovely. And we did these flowers. So I'm just doing some doodling. I've got wet paint on my hand from something. What did I smear now? Okay, let's do another one down here. I think I want to add some red to that. The more the merrier. Oh, thanks, Janet. As I say, we're just playing today. I just want to get a stock of collage fodder ready. I like to have stuff on hand. More Kim bits, right? Blue, yellow, red. We're going to go down this center here. The only thing is when you've got lots of paint, the paper will lift up. I like those. Not getting that purple in though, which is okay. You kind of have to hold the paper down because it will pull the paper up, and then you don't get perfect circles. You get kind of smeary things. We're just playing and having fun. So let's do a stem again. I want some blue in that. Like this, like this, like this, like this. So yeah, we're just kind of playing and having some fun and trying different things to add to journals. I'm thinking on ATCs as well. So yeah, I like it more down the center of the print. We wanted them really nice and narrow, so it'd be nice as a book edge. So I figured if I could do it half the size of the column of print, but going down the middle is much nicer, I think. Ah, thanks, Sherry. Hi, welcome, welcome. So, going to have a lot of things to play with. We also did these grapes. I've been waiting for these silly grapes to dry. They're finally dry. So I have added gel pen to the stems and the vines. Now we're going to outline the grapes with black. Oh, I like the way these grapes are looking, guys. I really like the way those grapes turned out. What do you think? Can you see the black? I have outlined them. Trying to get the black to show for you. Oh, focus. Come on, camera, play nice. Ah. But I think those turned out kind of lovely. You know, they would also look lovely. if we did like holly berries or even just berries. I like the way because you get the mixture of colors and you don't know how it's going to turn out when you put it down, right? So I'm going to use the big one and I'm going to use this blob here. See what we get. That's kind of interesting. It's almost like a little planet. A jam jar? Ooh. And after a while, your paints do get muddy. But I do like that. I think this is going to be another little bouquet kind of thing. And of course, like I say, I'm going to come in with my gel pen and I am going to turn these into flowers, like my little wobbly cut flowers and things. Now I'm just trying to use up my paints. So I'm going to turn these into a couple of little floral things. Brown and yellow and green. Oh my. Oh, thanks, Belinda. So what have you guys been playing with this weekend? You've been doing anything fun, craft-wise? Have you been cleaning and finding fun stuff in your supplies? So again, little florally things. Oh, nice, Anne. I really have to get off my keister and get some organizing happening. I did have my side desk cleared again, and it just disappears. Magazine pictures for collage. I was thinking of doing some of that too. So we've got these. Haven't quite decided what we're going to do with these. I was even thinking of just cutting them out as circles, maybe making some just flowers that I can add to bits and bobs. You've been knitting? What are you knitting? Are you working on a jumper? I was knitting some dishcloths and I have a couple of tea cozies. I want to get the tea cozies done for Christmas. I'm going to cut this one up. I'm going to fussy cut this, kind of. Fingerless gloves, nice. Jan had sent me some fingerless gloves. I love them because my hands get cold, and with my arthritis, that's never a good thing. So she knit me some fingerless gloves. couple of years ago. I love them. So let's put this against the black background and I can show you. There's our grapes. Okay, when I've got them sewn up, I will put them in either Beth or Becca's group because I know that you're part of their groups. Okay, now I need to fussy cut these guys. Need to do some fussy cutting. They're very simple tea cozies. I had done one of those ones with the Iran knit. Is it Iran? You know, with all the cabling and just an ecru color. And it was a sweater. It had buttons, had a collar, and the handle and the spout were the sleeves. It was so cute. I have to admit, I really, really liked that. It sold almost instantly. But I was thinking what would be kind of fun is doing ugly Christmas sweaters matched. So you would have an ugly Christmas sweater that matched your teapot, your tea cozy. But I haven't done that. But I think that would be an absolute hilarious gift to give to my tea drinking daughters. No, I know you don't get over to Facebook too much, Janet. And of course, I've done like one of those pineapple ones, and I've done the one that's almost like a basket, and the top has knit flowers on it. I love the way this one turned out, guys. Yeah, they usually have to be sized for the teapot. I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. I guess I could get a little bit closer in here as well. We'll see how my hands are feeling. But the nice thing about knit tea cozies is they do stretch. They do stretch. I'll do this one as well because it's outlined already. Definitely. Definitely. Oh, with paper dolls. Nice. Oh, that'll be lovely, Belinda. I have so many of those old Good Housekeeping and I guess it's McLean's craft magazines from the 70s and 80s. I was thinking that come winter time, I might do a throwback Thursday where we go through one of those magazines and find a pattern that we would like to do together. Yeah, this is fun on the book pages. I have so many book pages that I need to use up, Janet. So many old books and things. I don't know if it's the same in the UK, but our local thrift store, a lot of times they just throw the books out because they have so many copies of them, or the books are like older and they know that they've had a bunch of them in the past. All encyclopedias they throw straight out because whatever, for whatever reason. So I figure that I'm just going to use my books and do this kind of thing with them because they're just going to get tossed out anyway. So I might as well utilize them and have fun and make stuff, right? I will love to see your books. A flip through of that book when you're done, Belinda. I really would. Okay, so I'm just going to outline these with gel pen and kind of fussy cut them. Don't know if I'm going to embellish them or not. See, I love to do the doodling and the embellishing. Oh, I didn't even do a stem on that. Goodness. Let's throw a stem on there. Um, I like to do the doodling and the enhancing and the coloring, etc., on my Kim bits. But realistically, that takes an awful lot of time. And I don't know. I, I don't know what I'm saying. But you guys know it takes a lot of time to make things, and you cannot, when you make a journal, you don't make your time back on all, well, I don't make my time back on all the bits that I do. When you consider that we've been playing here for over an hour and a half already, and I've got what, four pieces cut out, and lots to cut out and embellish, right? Outline and embellish, etc. So I know darn well that I don't make my time up when I do a journal. And I've been called on those kinds of things in the past, that I undercharge for things. But I don't know where you are, but in Manitoba, people don't want to pay the kind of price because they know somebody who does that kind of thing and they get it cheaper in a lot of cases. And I understand that. Here's another fun one. Hardcover books with glossy pages. Oh, yeah. What a great idea. Glossy pages can be such a pig to work with. They really can. So, anyway, I have been called out so many times for not charging enough that, oh, this one's not outlined. It's okay. They can all be different. It works. They don't all have to be the same. Um, but I know too that because I don't charge much, that people who do it as a living, if I'm not charging lots, I don't know. It's a double edged sword. All I know is that I'm glad. Yeah, it is a slow going process. All of it, right? And that's with anything handmade. You're right, Stacy. Exactly. So I decided I'm not selling anymore. I thought about going back to the museum, and they welcomed me back, and then I changed my mind because I don't want to have to start playing with inventory and stuff. Yeah, I got lots of this kind of stuff, and it's inventory. I doesn't take up as much room as a dozen little crochet change purses, you know? Anyway, it's a double edged sword for us creators. It really is. There's another one. These ones aren't outlined. I'm just leaving them as they are. And yeah, you know what? Once I've got them in a journal or whatever, or on a card or a tag or whatever, I might come back and outline it. I very much might come and put veining on, like leaves. I might put polka dots. But for now, I'm happy to leave them as is and call them done. It's another one. But I have to admit, I love the way the multicolors worked out like this. I really do. Really, really do. And I like the big ones and I like the little ones. And I love the way that these did turn out. Like the long borderishes. Kim's making up her own words again. So I still have a lot of paint. I think I'm going to blob a couple more pages. And then maybe we'll call it a day. I appreciate you guys being here and keeping me company while I play. I hope that you guys try this. Really. That's right. Exactly, Stace. And you know what breaks my heart? Because I was working at that thrift store. All the Afghans and the hand stitched quilts that we're selling for like $5. You know, just it's hard to see. Absolutely hard to see. Yeah, designer labels to feel special. So I know that a lot of you go in and take the spine off. This is just a cheap old um, dictionary. I'm just using my rotary cutter on it because it works. Okay, Stacy. Designer labels, yeah. Oh, thanks, Sherry. Seriously, they're so easy. It's just the cutting out after, and you know how that works. Yeah. Oh, me too. And I have done lots of quilts and like lap quilts and stuff. I'm gonna do a brown and yellow one because sometimes, even though I'm not a brown and yellow fan, might just be sometimes you just need a neutral, right? I have. I started way back when my granddaughter, who is in her early 20s now, um, I was making her an I Spy quilt, a crazy quilt, I Spy quilt. So I have a bazillion and one of the blocks. Well, I probably have 25 blocks done, and I never finished it. So I'm thinking that what I want to do is um, do some embroidery and make them true crazy quilt style and turn them either into pillows or journal covers. Wouldn't it be fun to do an I Spy journal? Yeah, I did a lot of custom one of a kind stuff. like patchwork jean jackets and things. Welcome back, Stacy. Yeah, heirloom styles, heirloom. Yeah, these are just so fast and simple, guys. I don't know why I haven't been doing this before. Well, I have kind of, but an I Spy journal would be so much fun with, you know, especially if you're cutting up magazines and stuff too, right? You could do an entire border around a page with things like basketballs and skates and strange stuff. That's right. Welcome back, Don. We're just complaining about how you don't make your money back on your arts and craft works. I've got a lot of like neutrally stuff, browns and greens and things. Time to throw some more color in. Yeah. No, you definitely don't get your time. No. Ooh. These are going to be bright or red and yellow. Hey, Joni. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. I love the way your watercolors are turning out. You're doing great. Right. Exactly. Even doing the stuff for the museum, it was like my finger puppets and little change purses and those little kittens and absolutely, absolutely um, fast. Absolutely fast and stuff. I'm just doing blob painting today, Joni. Doing a whole bunch of collage fodder. Oh, thanks. Yeah, been having some fun. I did big ones with a glue stick cap. These ones are done with my gel pen and just flat, multicolored, and do some stems and leaves. Some are outlined, some are not. I've done some flowers and I did a bunch of grapes. I think I'm going to do some more grapes. I kind of like the way those turned out. Hey, Shaz, welcome, welcome. So yeah, just been doing quick collage fodder stuff. Some of them I've outlined, some of them I have not outlined. You know, some florals, lots of florals. We did balloons. The balloons turned out really fun. So again, I'm just gonna put some stems on these. It does get boring, and it gets boring fast, right? Like, and at the museum, if you showed them pictures of your work, that's what they expected you to sell. So you couldn't really branch out without board approval. So yeah, doing like little kittens and those, well, the finger puppets were always fun because I could change them up into cats or chickens or whatever, right? But doing the um, change purses, same pattern over and over, dishcloths and pot holders, they had to be the same, scrubbies out of that scrubby yarn. And the thing was, is because it was open from May till the end of September, beginning of May till the end of September, you would get, like, the sales were great. Oh, thanks, Shaz. The sales, I have to admit, were phenomenal. I made really good money there, but oh my word, boring, boring, boring. Yeah, just doing some fodder, Shaz, just playing, just playing. Oh, if anybody is not aware, Joni has a ATC swap group on Facebook, monthly swaps, and the really cool thing is ATCs only, nothing else. No additional bits to go in with the ATCs. So, Joni, if you want to pop your group thing in, please, that would be great. It's always nice getting additional people to come and play. Anne and Belinda uh, suggested doing border bits. So I've got some border bits to outline and embellish various things. Oh, Sherry, they're wonderful. Sherry's playing along. She sent me a picture. I don't have a device that I could share it with. I need to make her thing bigger on my screen here. Oh, they look lovely. They look lovely. So Sherry's playing along. Thanks, Sherry. She's got some sort of it's not round, it's a different shape, but they're turning out great. Very cool. Very, very cool. Um no, I've got purple, honey. I've done the grapes. It's got purple. And these have purple. And oh, don't put that in the wet paint. These have purple. I got purple. I got purple. There is purple. Got purple on the balloons. Yeah, just we're just playing and chatting and visiting. I've got some really boring like green things. But like I say, I'm going to come back and doodle some of these and turn them into like my wobble cut flowers. So I'll give them the centers and petals and things. But I'm just, kind of cheating by doing them with the big round blobs of paint. So yeah, there's Joni's group, and it's awesome because really, I like the fact. Okay, let's use some more purple. Um, I like the fact that you're not supposed to send more than just the ATCs. Because I don't know. I've been in some groups and the swaps, the stuff that people send you is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So these have a bit more purple on them. And again, like I say, I'm going to just add whites and blacks and maybe some um, polka dots or whatever. Just using paint blobs. Stacy, Joni, guys, if you want to put everybody's links in, Janet's link and yours, Stacy. I know. I know exactly. Gathering stuff to send in a swap. It's hard. It's hard. Very competitive. Very competitive. And I mean, some of the groups that are doing the swaps, they want you to buy and use their merchandise in the swaps. I understand that. That's their business, it's their livelihood. But we all know that it's not very often that I'll buy something. I have to really, really want it. Like those stamps that I just bought. Now, don't get me wrong. I like getting stuff. I like sending stuff to people, but um, it does get to be too competitive. Oh, it's pretty blue, and green, and purple. So yeah, I'm gonna have so much collage fodder. But you know what? That's just fine because I'm getting very, very close to my 250. And when I get to my 250, I know it hasn't arrived on. I will let you know as soon as you get it. As soon as you get it. As soon as I get it. I'm looking forward to it. Um, but yeah, like I say, somebody had sent me stuff from Texas and it took 5 weeks to get here. Nuts. I don't know and I don't understand. But back to when I get to my 250, I'm doing the draw for that little set of drawers that I collaged and probably send out a whole bunch of Kimbits too. So if you're here for that day when I'm celebrating, you may get some of this stuff. I know. I know, Don. It's just like every time I take stuff to the post office, the lady kind of feels it and goes, "What's in here?" And I say, "Well, paper samples, right? Because it's Kimbits usually, right? But if I had something like a paper clip or even a staple, she's had stuff returned from the US Customs saying that it's not a card, it's not all papers. Um, so she warns me every single time that I take stuff to the post office. Exactly, Stacy. Exactly. I'm retired. I'm on a fixed income. I was a stay at home mom for so many years. And the jobs that I did have once I went back into the workforce didn't have pension plans. So, well, thanks, Don. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. But I can't afford high end. Like, I save my money in order to buy inks or those stamps that I just got. And like I say, I really have to want it. Not necessarily need it, but I really have to justify my art pur- purchases because I have so much stuff. Because I've been doing this for so long. I mean, I have a roll of latch hook canvas and I use it on the gel plate because it gives really interesting texture. Or I just paint it and I stamp with it. But still, budgets, you've got to. That's why I do so much of my own things too, right? I can't go and buy Tim Holtz stuff. I can't afford it. Not that it's my style either, but you know what I mean. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. I'm sure you get it. You know what? Even if they're not full circles, I can still make that into a flower once I add the ink. So I think too that's why when I do my videos, I try and show you guys cheap ways to make fun stuff, right? That oh, I've still got the gold. Let's add some gold to some of these. That too, Anne. That too. Love finding sales and deals and whatever else. But that takes, whoa, that takes a lot of time too, right? And I'd much rather be playing than hunting down stuff. I mean, you guys have Hobby Lobby, you have Michael's, you have Joanne's, you've got Dick Blick's. We have Michael's. We've got a place called Artist Emporium. We've got like the little craft store here in town. Um, but I mean, their prices are higher because we're rural and they can't buy the quantities like Michael and stuff, Michael's, etc. can purchase. So I mean, I will purchase from them, but I gotta save my pennies to do it. What else have we got? There's the scrapping ladies in Oak Bank. Who else do we have? Sherry? Lots of Dollaramas and Dollar Trees. It is. That is, Shaz. It's crazy. Right, Joni. That's nice that she does that, that she understands that. And but the thing is, she knows that you'll use it, right? And she knows that it's something you will appreciate. This is getting kind of muddy, but they're kind of cute. Yeah, paint's getting thin on my thing here now. I'm not getting full circles. Yeah, I like that ad. The elastic dollar. But I mean, seriously, I have so much stuff, guys. I really do have so much stuff. And it's not that I don't appreciate it and I don't use it, but it's, little stuff, right? No, no, I know. Some of those printables are stunning, but they cost, right? Yeah, but some of this stuff in black and white can be pretty striking. Um, Laura just, or Arlene posted a picture on Witchy Laura's Lair on Facebook, and it was a Christmas journal in black and whites. My goodness, it is stunning. It's not a horror journal or gothic or whatever, but everything's in black and white, and it is just incredible. Yeah, I love clearance racks. I really do. But yeah, buying clothes, I don't know about you guys, but I still feel guilty about purchasing clothes. Like when my kids were little, I never bought anything for myself. I had to make sure my kids had stuff for school, and I still feel guilty about buying clothes. Nice. Nice, Stacy. My kids will usually get me a gift card, but we've decided that we're not exchanging gifts anymore because, they get me a gift card, I get them a gift card. That it's kind of like no point. So these are kind of washed out, muddy kind of looking, but I like them. Oh no, Stacey, definitely not. Yeah, Joni, me too. But he also knows that I will utilize so much of what I've got just kicking around that there's no point. You know, we've got some very interesting. I've got very interesting bits to doodle on and stuff. I have a bag of things to doodle on. I don't know if you guys do that too, where I showed you where I take the wooden stamps that Ron has made me and I stamp it onto a book page and then doodle on them. I don't know where they are. I have a whole bag. So chances are some of these are going to end up in the bag as well. So that when I pull out pen and ink, I've got uh, stuff to doodle with. Oh no, that's annoying, Kel. What kind of a shoe? Is it like a high heel shoe or is it like a old boot? I need to see. What a lovely thing. Family tree art. Oh, that would be so nice, Anne. Yeah, secondhand stores are great. They really are. That and the fact that so many of us, when we're doing things, we're showing you to use stuff that you've got around the house. Like, I have so many old paperbacks that I know darn well are just going to end up in the trash. And so I've been showing you different ways to doodle on the pages. Um, they're handy. And yeah, okay, that sometimes you want that white edge or the crisp background. But really, if we're doing junk journals, on book page is the way to go, you know? I haven't been to a thrift store for a while, a very long while, actually. I lied because Ron and I went to, when we were out on putt, I wanted to stop at a thrift store that I had, um, when I was working, I'd been there, but oh, for sure, Joni. High heeled slipper. Oh, that would be lovely, Kel. Can't wait to see it. You haven't been in a store since the beginning of the pandemic? Well, I have. But I mean, not necessarily. I really need to hit a dollar store because I'm low on envelopes. And I know, Janet, you make all your own envelopes and things, but I need like the big brown envelopes because I have to send out. Mind you, I guess I could do them out of this brown paper, right? I could make them out of this brown paper that I use on my desk, the ones with all the paint bits on it. I can embellish it. Okay. See, we have a small pharmacy in the next town, and that's where I go for vaccinations and all my medications and things. I like the small places because they know you by face, name, they know your family, they know your medical backgrounds. Calendar pages. Yeah. Oh, I just hacked all my old calendars up. And I think I made pockets out of the majority of them, Janet. But I could also use magazine pages if it was a stapled magazine. I could use those. But I've got lots of this brown paper because I've always got it on my desk. So I've got some very very interesting brayer roll offs and things. Really, Anne? Oh, that's so sad. I mean, most of the small towns around here have pharmacies. That's awesome, Joni. Right, us here too. There's very, very few plastic bags now. We get a lot of the brown paper bags as well. Oh, that's sad, Joni. No, this pharmacy has three pharmacists. They work on a, you know, rotating kind of basis. There's usually two there, and it's got a post office in there, like their town's post office, and of course, like a little store thing with some, you know, over the counter kind of things, bit of stationery. But I mean, the nice thing about the small town pharmacies, because Ron and I have been going on putt, I don't always think to take allergy medicines or whatever before we leave, because I really try and stay away from things like that. But I've been thankful that there were little pharmacies in the towns that I could just run in and get some Benadryl or whatever if I needed it. Perfect, Anne. Perfect. Yeah, Shaz, exactly. Exactly. Back to brown paper or fabric bags. Definitely, yeah. They're even trying to go away from the plastic bags in the produce departments. See, with our local pharmacy, they know I have a phobia about meds because I've got so many allergies. I've ended up in the ER from things that a doctor has prescribed. So they automatically look to see how it's going to work with my other medications. And they will tell my husband. They will not tell me. Like they'll say, here's, the data on it or whatever, knowing, and they'll actually say, make sure Ron reads that so that he knows. So if your medical clinic has a pharmacy, that's also a small pharmacy, is it not, Joni? That they would remember you and stuff. And I love that. That's a great thing. That is a great thing. Okay, so I've just got brown and green left. I am not going to, and some black. I'm not going to worry about the paint that's left on here. I'm going to put this to the side and pull out all these bits that we have created together to show you how many pages we've done in these 2 hours. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and all these ones that we've cut out already. So that's a lot of collage fodder in a couple of hours. Yeah. Okay, I will take a look at that, Kel, for sure. So 2 hours, a whole stack of collage fodder, bunch of pages cut out, ready to go for more. You know what, Shaz? I have thought about it. Um, I actually had somebody convince me to sell stuff to her, and I quoted her a price, and I quoted what I thought was a reasonable price. She didn't balk at it, don't get me wrong, but she sent me a money order for more than I asked because she was in the States, and it turned out to be almost well over double what I had asked for if it translated Canadian and US dollars. So now I am making a bunch of stuff and I'm going to send her more because I don't think I gave her bang for her buck. Does that make sense? Yeah, Kel, can you put your group in, hun? Um, so that's I sent her a lot of original stuff, um, but I don't feel that it was worth what she paid me. Does that make sense? So I'm sending her more stuff and some digitals because I don't want her to feel, and she told me, no, it's absolutely fine. Just it's fine. She loves the stuff. And I understand that, but I don't think I sent her. Yeah. That's just it because you know, I don't know. But yeah, I have thought about it and I have done it. But again, like I say, I'm feeling that I didn't give her her money's worth. And because it was in the States, it had to be like flat stuff. I couldn't send anything with bling on it. Um, yeah. She sold your work, Joni? Oh, brutal, brutal, brutal. That's my other thing because I'm sending originals, right? So she could turn around and you know, but I mean, the way I look at it too is if because if I'm sending stuff down to the States, I can't have any metal, like no paper clips or anything in there because it's not considered paper. Yeah. So anyway, um, like with the monsters and things, because I've got so many of them, I scanned them in and I'm going to be sending her pictures of the like she wants it for glue booking, which is fine, but I I don't know. And I post stuff in my group, Meet Your Creativity, and all I ask is you can use it for sale. You could use it for um, stuff that you make for sale. You could use it for personal items. Just don't give it to somebody else. They are rampant, Shaz. Wow. That's brutal, Anne. I feel the same way, Cal, that if they want to sell stuff from my group, go for it. But yeah, no, I would definitely consider selling stuff, but I don't want to force, like I don't want to be one of those, and don't get me wrong, I don't want this to become a business where I'm flogging my things. Exactly, Joni. Exactly. Exactly. That's crazy. It is. It's crazy. So, I mean, yes, okay. I will sell Kimbits, but it's not going to be. I don't know. I You guys know me. I much rather send stuff in Happy Mail. Um, a lot of my original stuff I would have trouble parting with, like my Goonie Birds. Yeah, exactly, Shaz. Exactly. Like some things I'm not prepared to part with. Like I can send you digitals, say, of the Goonie Birds, or I could send you digitals of the monsters. Um, my dolls, I'm starting to send away. Like I'm not as connected to my dolls now as I am some of my other critters. I will send them, um, but I will make new ones. Does that make sense? They're my babies. How can I sell my babies? But I mean, the stencils I make, I will post an image on my group, and if you've got a Cricut or whatever, you're welcome to take it and make your stencils. You know, I I just Oh, thank you, Sherry. That's great. Yeah, yeah. I mean, last year for Flood the Streets with Art, I did 6 journals, and they were chunky journals. I do have journals that I've completed, um, and those I used for Flood the Streets with Art. This year, I am doing some of those baby, like those little peckers that I just did last week on my live. These guys. So some of these are going out for Flood the Streets with Art, and I still have the butterflies to paint. So those will go out. Um, yeah. Hey, Jean, welcome, welcome. I was making collage fodder today. I even doodled one. Not that you can really see it, but I even doodled this one a little bit. Your style, more than one line with polka dots and stripes. Yeah. Somebody actually asked if I would sell them. I have no idea what the shipping would be on them. Like I have no idea what shipping would be on one of these guys. But evidently now my kids don't want them for Christmas, they told me. So I've got all these little peckers. I did put the pattern for them on my Facebook group. and I did a video with that pattern so that you guys can see how I do them. So feel free to go ahead and take a look at it, adapt it to what works for you, definitely, because we all know that, like recipes, patterns are just guidelines, you know, but by all means, go and the one with the eyebrows turned out really cute, though. I have to show them to you. All he needed was his tail feathers because my hand was sore and I couldn't do the tail feathers. So there's the guy with the eyebrows. He's going to go out for Flood the Streets with Art. And some of them have beads in the fine crochet, some of them don't. But yeah. And they're simple. Well, thanks. The foundation or jumping off point? What do you mean? Like, I gave a pattern for these wings, the body, which is just a circle, and this tail. Was it this tail? It was a tail, pretty much like this one. So, you just bling them up the way you want to bling them up, right? And if you want to put beads in the wings or whatever, you string the beads on and just put them in wherever, right? Oh, the vertigo's bad today, Jean. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not fun. Yeah, please take care of that. Yeah. Yeah. Sherry, thank you for that. Sherry just sent me a private message. That's okay. Okay, Belinda, take care. Hugs. Thanks for being here. Talk to you soon. Jean, have you figured out what it's kind of related to? Is there any one single trigger that happens? Yeah, I hope that you get a handle on that. It's never fun. Never fun to have vertigo like that. So, yeah, it's. I gave basics for the wings, the tail, and the body. The patterns are on Meet Your Creativity. Um, there's also the video that I did for making them. Was it last Tuesday, guys? I think it was last Tuesday we did those. So you can always check the replay if the pattern doesn't make sense to you because I was doing it and writing it down as I made them. Oh, oh, sorry to hear that, Jean. That's rough. Definitely rough. Well, if you're going to lie down and relax, I hope it clears up fast. Because that's definitely not fun or safe. Vertigo's a not fun thing. It does have lots of side effects. I'm not sure if what I had last fall was a side effect from that or a side effect just from how sick I was from last fall. But I have this weird smell. I'm the only one that can smell it, and it's nasty. Oh, he got tinnitus, or what is that called from the shots? I've got this. Nobody else can smell it but me, but it's nasty. I've lost my sense of taste. So, and things taste off to me. I had company here for dinner and I tasted it and it tasted rotten to me. So I dumped it out and started all over again. And my husband said there was nothing wrong with it. I got him to taste it too, and I just didn't believe him, so I tossed it. Yeah, yeah. I think it could have been that, and I was really sick. But I still have that stupid smell thing. So it's been about a year. It's just really annoying. There's so many strange things out there. So many strange things. I'm happy, like right here where I am. You know, just making little bits of stuff. Ah, okay. But I don't have a loss of a sense of smell. I have a weird smell. It's almost like a chemically burning, plasticky. It's nasty. So it's not necessarily loss of sense of smell. It's, I don't know. It does. It smells like something burning plastic chemical. It's ugly. And you wash your hands with dish soap or whatever, and I'll smell them, and it makes me gag. Like the smell of that, it doesn't smell like dish soap to me. It's weird, just weird. So yeah, I probably had it. I don't know. All I know is I was really, really sick. And it was to the point where I couldn't drink anything. I had to get thickener because I couldn't drink water because I was aspirating on it. Like it wasn't going down the right way. Okay. Stomach not emptying or reflux. It could be. Yeah. I don't get reflux though. So anyway, I'm good. I just have a weird smell and sometimes a weird taste. Yeah. 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 So it has been 2.5 hours, and I think I've showed you the same thing over and over and over again today. Exactly, Anne. Exactly. And yeah, I've got phobias about that too. That I can't read anything like that. It kind of can throw me off a little bit. But yeah, it was a very productive time. Got lots of bits done. Well, started, you know. I'll probably just end up cutting them all out and embellishing them later. So I thank you guys all for being here. And it was a lovely visit. And I hope that this has inspired somebody else to play. I know Sherry has been playing. That, but like I said, we see all this wonderful stuff on Instagram and things that is very, very simple to do. So, well, thank you guys. Thank you guys all for being here, and I appreciate it. And I hope you guys try it. Seriously, you need something round and a bunch of different colored paints. So take care, everybody. Hugs to you all, and I will see you on Tuesday if you're around. Bye now. Take care. And thanks. Thanks to the people up in the gallery and the replayers. Bye now.